That would be funny at this moment, right? Okay. And I feel like now it's warming up in here, and this is going to be a difficult class. I'm going to turn the heat down just a little bit so we're not dying. Okay. Welcome to practice. Please come to lie on your back on your mat. This is a little bit longer class than a lot of these online offerings. So this is a practice for a day when you have a little more time. This is a practice that is all about finding our buoyancy and our personal volume. It is an energizing practice that is really for building your pranic center. So I don't recommend this for a late at night practice. It's more of a practice for when you need to feel enlivened, inspired, connected. So if that's sounding like what you need, this is perfect for you today. Just take a moment on your back to feel into your physical body. To feel into, with non-judgmental curiosity, the state of your inner state, the state of your breath, state of feeling body, state of emotional body. How's your mind? In Lisa Miller's The Awakened Brain, she talks about this movement from a narrow top-down dorsal attention network towards a bottom-up view of things. And if you're already like, what do those words mean? What she's referring to is this idea that so often in life, we get fixated on what we've planned for and prepared for in life. We've decided we're going to have a certain job. Our trip is going to go a certain way. Our dating life is going to go a certain way. And when it doesn't, we get stuck standing in front of an immovable chess piece on the board or a door that won't open, and we keep hammering in that direction. And meanwhile, as our gaze gets narrow and we're just focused on that one thing, we're missing the broader field of attention and perception and information that's flooding all around us. We're missing all of the opportunities that are presenting themselves to us with this focus on how we think things are supposed to go. My yoga lineage has this beautiful saying that beauty is in receiving the world the way in which it is offering itself, not as we wish it to be. And if you think about your life, there's so many moments and so many times that when things went horribly wrong and everything you had planned and prepared for fell away, it opened the pathway to your most critical, important relationship, to the job that changed your life, to the moment in the trip that changed your life. Often so much more beautiful than what we ever could have prepared and planned for, because our preparing and planning is often coming out of our previous experiences, which are often limiting. Lisa Miller stresses in The Awakened Brain that part of cultivating this awakened state is widening the lens of the mind, widening the field of perception. In my personal development programs and in my personal development coaching, we talk about taking the macro view of life, the bird's eye view, being able to spread our attention so that we can see the magnificent, prosperous other doors and other chess pieces on the board. So much of our suffering comes from being out of alignment with the deeper truth of life, being out of alignment with what life is offering us, not trusting in the inherent buoyancy of life, not trusting that we're held by the universe, that we're held by God, whatever language you like to use, whatever language aligns in your heart. And so today we're going to play with laterals, that's side bending and back bending, to build our pranic center. Prana, vital life energy, is inspiring. It builds our personal volume as we build our capacity to breathe, and gives us a physical embodied sense of buoyancy. And the more we can create those conditions physically and practice feeling that volume, that buoyancy, that inspiration, it can start to carry into other parts of ourselves. The feelings will change, the mind changes. And one piece of buoyancy is groundedness and stability. So for the next minute on your back, can you just feel the support of the earth? Notice where you're holding in the body without judgment, and maybe ask that part of yourself, like, what would you need to let go? What would you need to feel secure enough to relax and release? And invite the answer in the stillness. Can you gently play with every exhale, finding a sense of release and heaviness, and allowing the sense of support and ease to increase with every in-breath? That you are really being carried by the waves of life, moved down a river. And that even though you can't see what exactly is around the bend, and even though there's a truth to preparing in every moment for the next, that you will also need to cultivate a willingness and ability to rest in uncertainty. Thich Nhat Hanh says that your happiness is equal to your amount of comfort with uncertainty. When you trust buoyancy, when you trust you're held, then uncertainty doesn't feel so daunting and scary. It feels a little exciting. We'll start to play with the cultivation of the breath here on our backs. So take your legs to touch now, like you are standing in Tadasana on your back. There's a little bit of energy through the body, a sense of elongation. And now, as you breathe in, take your right arm up alongside of your ears and flex your right toes towards your knee. And reach high above your head, so you're creating a lot of space on the right side. And then as you exhale, lower your right arm back down next to your hip and relax your right leg. Next in breath, take your left arm alongside of your ear, flex your left toes towards your knee, elongate the whole of the left side, fill it with breath. And as you exhale, return to the start position. So keep going now. And as you're doing this, think that you're gently lengthening your tailbone on the mat, lengthening your upper middle back so that you can really feel a sense of the collarbones lifting and rising as you breathe in. One thing that will help to facilitate that is finding a little gentle contraction in the navel center so that the breath is forced into the chest and upper lungs. There's a real sense of expansion. If it's appropriate for you, meaning it doesn't interrupt your next breath, you might even start to elongate the inhale. Meaning if you were breathing for 4, maybe you're breathing for 6. Please take one more set. After you finish that last set, just pause for a moment and feel already the change in state. It doesn't take much. One big breath, one moment building intimacy with prana starts to change our inner state. Now bring the soles of your feet to the floor, feel the ground beneath your feet. And we'll take a dynamic bridge pose, so continuing to build our relationship with our sense of personal volume and expansion. So as you breathe in, lift your hips and take your arms right alongside of your ears. And as you exhale, lower your hips, lower your arms back to the start position. Please continue. Find a place where the breath and the movement never stops. So the whole time you're lifting your hips and sweeping your arms, you're riding the breath like a wave. Every time you exhale, you're lowering your hips for the entire length of the exhale. A real sense of an oceanic tide Tide moves in, tide moves out. Sense that there's prana, breath, iron ore, space dust, minerals filling and nourishing your bones, nourishing your body. And then there's something a little more sublime. There's a vital life energy riding on the breath. Body is like a battery pack for storing up this vitality. So you're more resilient for the ways in which sometimes the wave of life tumbles us. One more time. Good. This time now, keep your arms down and lift your hips up into a bridge pose. And if you wish, roll your shoulders underneath of you and interlace your fingers under your lower back. Press the length of your arms into the mat. Expand your belly and your breathing and tune into the buoyancy in the chest as you breathe. Last time. Good. Undo the clasp of the hands. Lower down seat first, so you're keeping that curve in the back. And then pause, give it a moment, feel into the change in state. What's present now? Every little subtle shift is worthy of our attention. Learning to tune into the inner wisdom, the ability of our nervous system, our body to help us tend to emotional mental state. To start to cultivate a trust in ourselves that in turn is the trust in that larger web that holds us. And now nice and gentle, come to a fetal position on one side. Rather than treating this just as a quick transition, pause there a moment. And then nice and gentle top hand to lift you up. Come to all fours. And then take the knees back just a little bit. So you're past 90 and move up and back to down dog. And take a moment just to explore that downward facing dog. One method of coping with being in a body is fluency. So play in the fluency. And one method of dealing with being on the planet is holding form. So now make it very formal, but continue to let the breath be fluid, buoyant, supportive, nourishing. Walk your feet forward to your hands. Measure 2 fists between the arches and hang over the legs for a moment. Connect the hearing to the breathing so that that oceanic tide of the breath is really sort of insulating the nerves. And bring your hands to your hips and press into your feet so that out of stability you can rise all the way to stand. Very good. Nice. Step your left foot back on your mat. In a sort of warrior one configuration, take your left foot out to the side so that you have space for the left hip to come around, and then turn your toes in such a way that it's comfortable for your hips. It's about 45 degrees, but there's a lot of variety in how our hips move. So instead of taking that as hard and fast, tune into your own inner wisdom and decide, feel into where the foot should be. Good, nice. Let your arms be at your side. Dynamic Virabhadrasana 1. As you breathe in, bend your front knee and take your arms alongside of your ears, shoulders just a little in front of your hips. So nice. And then exhale, straighten your right leg. And lower your arms back to the start position. Good, please continue, breathe in. And out. 3 more times with that dynamic movement, every in-breath, sinking into the front knee, using the whole in-breath to lift your arms. And as you exhale, straightening the front leg. Use the constriction in the navel point to bring the breath into the upper chest and lungs. We pull the navel point back a lot in yoga, and it's not to stabilize the lower back, as people often say. That's not an anatomically correct thing. We do it for energetic reasons. We do it to play with moving the breath into the collarbones, into the upper chest. We do it for this sense of volume. We do it to stimulate the nerve ganglia around the abdomen, this courage and vitality, this pranic center. One more time. I know we did more than 3, but it's so good. Good. Pause at the top and pivot on your right heel. Turn your feet parallel. You might need to adjust your stance. And just pause and feel once again, shift in state. Any small acknowledgement. And then pivot to face the back of your mat. So you'll need to adjust your stance once again. Right foot is back for warrior 1, left foot is forward. Find a place that allows you to bring that right hip around. Good. And then when you're ready, take a deep breath in, bend your left knee. And exhale, straighten it and lower the arms. And then just continue riding the wave of your breath in and out of the shape. Make the breath holy with your attention. Creating the sacred in this little rectangle. Trusting that life is sacred. If you're unsure where to begin your trust in the buoyancy of life, look at the ways in which great nature has supported you. It's given you eyes to see and ears to hear, a nose to sniff out a situation. It gives you winter berries to nourish and soothe the cold. It gives you summer fruits to cool your inner temperature. The very universe itself is nourishing and holding you. One more time. And then when you finish, nice and casual, easeful, turn to face the long edge again. And then step your feet together and walk to the top of the mat. Stand in Tadasana for just a moment and feel. Good, nice and slow, Surya Namaskar. The first round will take Cobra pose. And then if you wish, you can make it friskier with the Chaturanga and up dog. I'll leave that up to you as a practitioner to decide, but first round, nice and slow. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, take your arms up by your ears. And now like water, grace descending, rain falling, fall over your legs. Inhale and extend your heart forward, halfway lift. Good, walk your feet back to a down dog, nice and easy. So in the future rounds, you could come right here and just hang out and we'll meet you here. Otherwise, shift forward to plank. And if you need to, drop right away to your knees and everyone lower to your belly. A small cobra, pubic bone into the mat, lift your chest. Listen, exhale, lower back down. Ride the breath, 4 count inhale back into cobra. And lower. See if you could take a 6 count breath and come up. And lower. Let's do that one more time. Longest in breath you can. and lower. As strong or as easy as you need it to be, back and up to down dog. Again, tune into the buoyancy of the breath. Imagine the breath is like the wave of life carrying you, arising from nothing, returning to nowhere. And always lean into your breath, no matter what else is happening. Breath is there. Walk your feet forward or step forward to the top. Inhale and lengthen your spine forward. And then exhale and fold. Big full breath in. Circle your arms, push to stand. Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands to heart center, Anjali Mudra. And pause. Good. I'm going to speed it up just a little, but I want you to keep the steadiness of like tied in, tied out. So the velocity doesn't need to like, nothing frantic, just tied in, tied out, ride the breath. That means if you go slower or faster than me, do that and we'll all meet at the end. Big breath in. Hinge from your hip crease like rain falling, grace descending and fold. Inhale, spine forward, Ardha Uttanasana, half lift. Exhale, plank pose. If you wish, chaturanga. If you wish, up dog, cobra, any variation. And back to down dog. And then hang out in the down dog, connecting with your breath, support of the arms and the legs. Lightness of being. One more set. Travel forward to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift, spine forward. Exhale, fold. Big breath in, rise. Good. Hands to your heart center. Listen, a little shift here. Step your feet to touch if they're not already, and squeeze your legs together so that there's a real sense of finding the inner seam of the legs from the inner arches all the way up the middle of you. That great Tai Chi, the ridge pole that divides all polarity, the Sutra Atman, thread of the self. Take your arms up and then catch your right wrist, squeeze your legs together, and then go up and over to the left, hips over to the right. Turn the left side of your chest towards the sky, squeeze the legs. Good, inhale back to the middle. And rather than tick-tocking it, take your arms down and feel. Just every moment that we become aware of how quickly we can change something. It's a reminder in difficult moments how quickly we can change something. Like even when it hurts, it's just for right now. And I'm held, I'm buoyant, something else is coming. In this way, I can shift my state. Right side feels so different than left right now. In any moment, the breath, simple movement, a conversation, an awareness of beauty can bring us back into trust. Take your arms up, catch your left wrist. Feel into it, squeeze the legs and shift up and over. Hips to the left, turn the right side of your chest, squeeze it. Push the breath into the left side body. And then rise back up. Take the arms to Tadasana again and feel a little snapshot. What's alive now? What is life showing me now? Take a deep breath in, take your arms up. Descend over the legs. Take your heart forward, Ardha Uttanasana. And then walk your feet back to down dog. Good, lower down to your knees, nice and easy. And then take your right knee just a couple inches in front of your left so you have a asymmetrical stance in the legs. Take a breath in here, soften your belly. And as you exhale, tuck your tailbone and your chin and push back into this asymmetrical child's pose, opening up the deep spinal muscles on the left side. And then inhale, come back up. Soften your belly towards the floor. Again, exhale, tuck your chin, tuck your tailbone and press back. Really feel into those deep paraspinal muscles on the left side. And now please continue about 3 more times in and out with your breath. Last time. Back up to all fours and take the right knee back and the left knee forward. So now targeting those paraspinals on the right side. Inhale, soften the belly towards the floor. Exhale, tuck your chin and your tail and go back. And then please continue 4 more times. Ride the breath. Pay attention to the energy of the spine. This tradition you're practicing, this Hatha yoga tradition, is very much concerned with the energy of the spine, which is the nadi sushumna, the gracious stream, and all of the deep spinal muscles that encase and hold this part of ourself. And this sushumna nadi, this spinal channel, is like an etheric tube for gathering prana. And prana rides the breath. So you can imagine that you're building pranic center one more time with the breath as you unravel the tensions of the spine, as you learn to connect. Okay, come back up to all fours after that last round. Bring the knees even. And once again, downward facing dog. Make it very formal for a moment. There's ways in which we play with lines in nature. And then again, the line is always referencing a sphere. So it's this interplay all the time between go with the flow, find form, go with the flow, find form, be formal and technical, be buoyant and light, do both. Be vigilant and effortful, be receptive and graceful. Walk your feet forward. Take a nice deep breath in, come all the way up to stand. Take your arms at your side. Now we're gonna flow a little bit and play a little bit in the body, but can you stay precise and technical and in vital fluency? Can you be graceful and receptive and vigilant? Can you trust the buoyancy and still plan and prepare? Can you do both and hold the center? So take your right leg and cross it in front of your left. So you're crossing at your knees and see if you can get like your little baby toes even in line. So right leg's in front and now take your left hip wide and around. So what a difference that makes. Like really stick your butt out and go out and around. Yeah. And then squeeze your inner thighs. Super nice. Good. And now take your arms up, catch your left wrist, bend your right knee a little bit and roll onto the pinky edge of your left foot and take a big side bend. So now the side bend's like all the way down to the ankle. So good. And then come back up to the center. Squeeze your legs together, trace the center line and fold down. So your left leg is in the back. Take your left foot, your back leg to the back right corner of your mat. So there's a diagonal line from the left heel to the right foot and drop to your back knee. And then lengthen forward up on your fingertips from your pubic bone to your sternum. Good. And now you're going to take your front leg and cross it over your left in a down dog. Right foot travels back and crosses left. Bring your knees to touch. Bend your knees, lift your seat high. Super nice. Good, you guys. Nice. Now bend your knees a lot, and I want you to start to pivot towards the pinky edge of the right foot and the sole of the left foot. You can only go one way and extend into a side plank. Left arm alongside of your ear. Good. Nice. Now bend your knees, take your butt back towards your feet and pivot back into the twisted leg down dog. So good. Take your back foot, your left foot, and take it forward to your right hand, the top of your mat. Left foot to right hand. Drop to your back knee, lengthen forward from pubic bone to sternum. Good. We're going to step forward, crossing our right leg behind our left. Travel forward. Trace the center line with your prayer hands all the way up to the sky. Open up, receive, and then hands to your heart again. Good. Organize yourself once again. Make some space. Take that right hip all the way wide and around. Good. And then bend your left knee. Take your arms up and catch your right wrist and roll to the pinky edge of your right foot. Big side body stretch from the pinky edge of the foot all the way up to that right wrist. So nice. Back to the middle. Trace the center line and hold. So good. Back leg is your right leg now. It's going to travel at a diagonal line to the back left corner. Drop to your back knee, lift your chest. Up on fingertips. Good. Now your left leg, your front leg is going to cross over your right leg at the back of your mat. Good. Knees are touching. Now you can only go one way. Bend your knees a lot and pivot on the balls of your feet into your side plank. Open it up and expand. Right arm alongside of your ear. Good. Bend your knees. Take your butt towards your heels. Pivot back into that cross leg down dog. Right leg, back foot is going to travel all the way to your left hand and then drop to your back knee. Lengthen forward. Left leg crosses behind right at the top of the mat. Trace the center line. Open up your prayer hands wide and receive. Connection to the universe above. Hands to your heart once again. Good. Same thing. Bend your right knee. Take your arms up. Catch your left wrist. Lean into it, opening up the whole of the left side. Good. Stretch back up to the sky. Squeeze your inner thighs. Trace the center line and fold. Your back foot is your left foot. It's going in a diagonal line to the back right corner. This time, uncurl the back toes and lift your chest up. Diagonal line, cross-legged. Yes. Fingertips to the floor. Cross your right leg in front of your left at the back of your mat. Bend your knees nice and deep. Balls of the feet pivot and open into a right-handed side plank. Expand and open. Yes, bend both of your knees. Crouch towards the back of the mat and pivot back into cross-legged down dog. Swing your left foot to your right hand. Uncurl the back foot and lift it up. Take that right hip forward. That's it. Fingertips to the floor. Cross your right foot behind your left. Trace the center line. Open your prayer hands high in a big glorious breath. And hands to your heart. Bend your left knee. Take your arms up. Catch your wrist. Lean to the left. Expand. Open. Back to the middle. Last time. Trace the center line. Right foot. Back to the left corner. Lift your chest up. A little quicker. Fingertips to the floor. Left leg crosses right. Bend your knees, pivot on the balls of the feet, and roll it open into that Vashisthasana. Roll it back to the middle. Right foot to left hand. A little quicker, right into it, lift up. Fingertips to the floor, ride forward. Trace the center line. Prayer hands high. Hands at your heart. Uncross your legs. Take your feet a little bit as wide as your mat and circle your hips. You can close your eyes if you wish. There's already a spiral in the pelvis from the cross-legged salutations. Lean into the spiral, energy of the pelvic bowl. Spin it to the right, spin of time. Now reverse it, spin it left, spin of the planet. Spin of the tide. The planning and the buoyancy. Go with the flow, be technical. Pause in the center, feel. Bring the feet back together. Now soften your knees and step your left foot out wide so you're facing the long edge of your mat. Measure so that your ankles are directly in line with your wrists. Good, and then pivot your left toes in and your right foot open 90 degrees. Take your arms back up to the side, and I want you to minimize the shift in the pelvis. We're gonna come into Trikonasana, and often classically, we really bump the hips super far, but my goal is to target your side body, so we wanna restrict the movement in the hips. So imagine you couldn't go as far and shift into Trikonasana. Good. Nice. And you can always put your bottom hand on a block if that's more supportive for you. Now, as you breathe in, take your left arm alongside of your ear and bow your top ribs towards the sky. Take your arm all the way alongside of your ear like you were trying to touch your right toes. Good. Now, as you exhale, bend your left elbow and flatten your side body and turn your chest towards the sky. That's it. Good. Again, inhale, reach long, bow the ribs. Exhale, bend the elbow, turn the chest. 3 more. Last time. Take your left arm alongside of your ear, bow your ribs and stay. Breathe into the left side. Good. Take your left arm back to the sky. Little bend in the right knee. Float all the way up to stand. Turn your feet parallel. Relax your arms. Feel. Is there any holding in the body right now that's unnecessary? And the right foot and left foot open. Stretch your arms out. Minimize the shift in the hips. And start by just coming into Trikonasana, triangle pose. Good. And now we'll add the breath and the dynamic movement. Inhale, right arm alongside of your ear, bow your top ribs. Try to touch your left toes. Exhale, flatten your side body, bend your right elbow in line with the shoulder. Good. 4 more, breathe in. And out. And in. And out. Last 2. Last time. Take your right arm alongside of your ear, bow the ribs, breathe into the side body, expanding capacity to receive the in-breath, to fill with prana. Like you could touch your left toes with your right hand. So good. Little bend in the front knee to rise. Feet parallel, hands at your side. Swing the hips again, little sway. Go the other way, a little bend in the knees, feel the connection, hips, knees, shoulders. That's it. Pause in the center of yourself, feel the spiral. Trace the backs of your legs, little bend in the knees, fold down, right down the center line. Grab onto the backs of your heels and bend your right knee nice and deep. So you're opening up the left inner thigh and lift the buttock bones. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale and fold. Inhale halfway. Fold. Last time. Stay down and image you are sort of pulling yourself through the inner thighs. Nice and gentle, straighten the right leg and bend the left. Same pattern, 3 half lifts and then a hold. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale. 2 more halfway lift. And fold. Last time, breathe in. And exhale and stay down. And nice and easy, straighten your left leg and just start to walk your hands towards your right foot as you pivot to face the front edge of your mat. Sink into a low lunge and step back to down dog. Nice and easy. Just give it a moment. And step your right foot forward. Pin your back heel down. Power of pulling the legs, Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Anchor your navel point slightly to the left. Turn your gaze out over your right hand. Steady the breath. Take your left hand to your hip. Look down at the floor. Start to bring your right fingertips to the floor and then lift your back leg off of the ground. Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. Take your left arm to the sky. Open your chest towards the top of the mat. Activate your lifted leg. Draw your lowest ribs in. Take the tailbone a little deeper into the body. Trust the stability of the legs. Trust the buoyancy of the heart. For balance, take your left hand to your hip, bend your right knee, step your left foot back, and then straighten your right leg, Trikonasana. So good. Bend your right knee, take your left hand to the floor. Pivot on the ball of the foot. Then you have some options here. Adaptation is to drop to your left knee and step your right foot back to Svashisthasana, side plank, or you just step the left foot right back to meet the right. Side plank. Drive the pubic bone forward. Squeeze the glutes, squeeze the inner thighs. Take your lowest ribs in. So good. Take your right hand to the floor. Down dog. And then in that intensity, now how quickly can you get over it? And again, find the steady, find the quiet. If you wish, roll through your spine up to the ball of the feet, vertebrae by vertebrae till your shoulders come over your wrists, and then take your pubic bone towards the floor, floating up dog, chest forward. And then reverse that, tuck your chin and roll the spine up and back. And step your left foot forward. Warrior 2. Back heel down, navel point to the right, 2 strong legs, voluminous heart. Constrict the navel point a little bit and breathe into your collarbones. Upper body just floating on the stability of the lower body. Right hand to your hip, look down, and don't overthink it, Ardha Chandrasana. And even if you fall, trust that buoyancy. We build confidence and courage by doing, by falling, by failing, not by imagining. Even if you fall, you're okay. That's the buoyancy. It's not that nothing bad ever happens. It's trusting that something good will happen too. It's trusting in the impermanence, the parimnavada, everything changes. balance, grace, and effort, and step back into Trikonasana. Right arm to the sky. And then take your right hand to the floor for Vashisthasana. Again, the adaptation, you just drop to your right knee, nice and easy. And then travel your left foot back. Again, or you can step the right foot back. What do you need today? Pubic bone forward, ribs in. Stabilize that bottom shoulder. Push the ground away. So nice. Left hand down. Down dog. Lower to your knees, child's pose. What's there now? How's your inner state now? What's alive now? Take both of your hands over to the left and your seat to the right. Breathe into the right side body. And both hands over to the right, seat to the left. Left side body, open the lung. And then both hands back to the front of the mat. Now take the backs of your hands to your sacrum, forehead down on the mat. And listen, as you breathe in, you're going to unfold from your hips, push all the way to stand on your knees and circle your arms by your ears. That's your in-breath. And now as you exhale, send your seat back, circle your arms, fold at the hip, forehead back down. About 4 more times, breathe in. Nice and slow, push to stand on the knees, take your arms up. Exhale. If you've lost it, return to the oceanic breath. Tide moves in, tide moves out. Your breath with the breath of the planet, you carried by the river of life. So good. Last time. Nice. Come back up to stand on the knees. Nice and easy. And do a little knee walk to the long edge of your mat. Okay. Nice. Come right into the center of your mat and take your right leg out to the side. Toes pointing forward. Left knee right under your left hip. Take your arms up. Take a deep breath in and exhale, hold up and over to the right. Good. Now from here, bend your right knee and take your left fingertips to the floor and draw a big half moon over towards the top of your mat and open up into modified Vashisthasana. Good. Let's reverse that. Take your right arm alongside of your ear, big half circle, bend your right knee and go back up into Parigasana. Yes, good. Flow it again. Bend the right knee, big half moon all the way over to modified Vashisthasana. Maybe even back bend a little bit. Good, big half moon. Go at your own pace, rolling in and out of these shapes. And if you want, you could even go the other way, tilting up and over, starting in the Vashisthasana, and reverse that big circle. What's feeling alive? Play the fluency now. Every line referencing a sphere. One more time, whichever direction you're choosing. It's not a right or a wrong. It's right because it's you. Because it's your body, because it's your breath. It's your movement. Nice, you guys. Nice and easy. Take that left foot back in and sit back on your heels. Take your time if you're still moving. Just feel. So awesome. Feel your waters, the stirring in the body. Feel the fluency in the form, the freedom and the containment. The joy of a breath. What is life offering you in this moment? And come to stand on your knees again. Left leg out to the side. I'm going to reverse it on you in case you didn't understand how to reverse it on the other side. So take your arms up, and now instead of Parigasana, lean over into your right fingertips to the Vashisthasana, and then left arm alongside of your ear, make a big half circle, go over towards your left leg and roll into Parigasana. Exactly. And play with that sphere. And if you're like, I don't like going that way, do it once or twice to maybe just explore a different movement pattern. And then pick the one you do like. Playing the fluency now. The thing about habit and asana practice is sometimes going with the flow is exactly what we need. But if we're always just going with the flow, then we don't build the depth. We don't get out of our habits. We're just living in our primal nature, in our habitual self. So we want to learn to do both. Be technical, be gentle, go with the flow, go with form. Do a couple more at your own pace as you wish. Maybe you're adding something that wasn't there yet. Little moment of divine play. Good. And then when you're ready, just nice and gentle, crawl that right knee back in and sit back on your heels again. Take your arms up in the shape of a V. And if this is really bothering you, you can pop a blanket underneath of you. We're going to pump out a couple of bhati breath and clear ourselves out. Make cups in your palms. So if grace is raining down, you're ready to receive the gift. Take a deep breath in and pump the navel back. Forcefully exhale. Out, 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 out. Push out stagnancy, pump out negative self-talk, pump out the negative narratives you spin about your life, pump out the ways in which you internalize little negative things that happen as meaning something about you, pump out inflammation and breathe in, let the body pull in with every in-breath as you go out, 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 the opportunity for something new, for deeper trust. Opening up through the Kapalabhati breath, this connection to the universal. Head might be getting a little bit spacey. We're playing with the second cleanse for the astral eye. Out, out, out. About 20 more breaths. You might do this really fast now, a little fluttering of your navel. Exhale completely. Stay empty. Hook your thumbs, take a deep breath in. 3 more little sips. Hold your breath so you're bristling with the prana shakti, like a little porcupine, illuminating out, and then exhale and let it go. Fingertips to the floor. Crawl your hands forward. Legs might be a little stiff. Down dog. Come forward to plank and lower to your belly. Nice and easy. Bring the backs of your hands to your sacrum. Palms up to the sky. Pubic bone into the mat. Dynamic Shalabhasana. Inhale, take your right arm by your ear. Lift your left leg. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, left arm, right leg. Exhale, lower down. 2 more sets. Inhale, right arm, left leg. And lower. Left arm, right leg. Last set, please. Stack your hands, rest your forehead. Really nice. Bring your hands next to your ribs. Nice and easy. You're going to come to a seat. Grab a blanket, at least one. And place it underneath of your seat. And take your legs out to, and you might want a block handy as well. Take your legs out to just a baby straddle. Not your biggest, most aggressive straddle, but nice and easy. And bend your knees a little bit. Sit up nice and tall. Take your arms up. Breathe in. And as you exhale, bend your elbows and come forward just a little bit, hinging at your hip. Now, as you breathe in, come up just about an inch, straighten your arms. Exhale a little deeper. Inhale, a little lift. Exhale a little deeper, plugging the scapula into your back. One more time, breathe in. And out. Stay here, fingertips to the floor. Maintain the integrity of your spine, so you can stay right here. If it's available, you can start to straighten the legs, but don't start rounding through the upper middle back, and keep stretching forward. Maybe coming down onto the elbows, opening up the inner thighs. Keep lengthening pubis to sternum. Stay active in the legs. Travel forward to come up, nice and easy. Sternum to rise. Good. Bend your right knee so that your heel is coming in towards your groin, and narrow the V shape in the legs a little bit. You might want to block here. Sometimes I like to pop a block under the extended leg, making a little shelf here, so that I'm less focused on trying to straighten my leg and more targeting these deep spinal muscles. Turn the torso over that extended leg. And then from pubis to sternum, nice and easy, start to walk the hands down. Moving into the shell of your back. If it's available to you, take your right hand and grab the pinky edge of your left foot, and then dive your left hand underneath and grab a hold of your knee, your opposite knee, and move into the shell of the back. Your right shoulder is going to want to lift up, drop it towards the floor. Then we're going to roll this open into a variation of Parivrita Janushirshasana. If you have a hold of the foot, you're going to spin underneath of your right shoulder, and then you're going to take your left elbow to the block or to the floor and use your left hand to support the back of your head. This is one option. If that's not available to you, bring your elbow up onto the block and then take your right arm up to the sky. This is beautiful and perfect. It's right because it's you. So pick the place that is most supportive. And breathe into your side body, expanding your capacity to receive. Inhale to receive
more of that pranic nourishment, more volume, more buoyancy in the chest. Yoga tradition says things with more prana are more stable, they're more in their beingness, their satness. Good. So gentle and slow. Roll back towards the leg, like so nice and easy. And then, like with just so much tenderness, walk yourself back up and try not to move too much when you come up. Just let your nervous system, muscles, the lower back, everything settle. Just take one more moment here to feel. Let's transition to the other side. So nice and easy, left heel in, right leg goes out. Again, you can place the block to support the knee. It's not required, it feels nice. You know, and sometimes if you're like, oh, but I'm so flexible, the more flexible you are, the more stability, the more you need to bolster the boundary. Turn your navel point over your extended leg and nice and easy, walk it down. If you have it in your system, if it feels appropriate today, left hand to the pinky edge of the right foot. Dive your right hand under to catch the opposite knee and move into the shell of the back. And same thing, we'll start to roll it open and honor your body. Maybe this side is different. Maybe this side has a different requirement. The right hand will support the back of the head. Potentially you're holding your foot, or maybe that left arm is up to the sky. Choose the option where there's the most volume available in the side body to breathe. And that left side. And again, with so much tenderness, slowly turn your torso back towards that front leg. Nice and easy. And then nice and easy, lift it back up. And when you come up, don't move too much. Let it be. Give it a moment. And then remove that block. I'm going to turn on my mat just for the visual, but you can stay where you are. Take your legs just about as wide as the mat. And then change the angle of the pelvis by bending the knees and pulling the pelvis forward. Hold down and take your right arm to your left ankle, right hand to left ankle, cross your left arm over the top and catch your right ankle. And you might need to make it a little more narrow. You kind of want your armpits and your knees to be very close to hanging out. Now I'm going to take my right arm, my bottom arm, and you're going to spiral to the right and open your chest on a spin. And then take your right arm over your head, grab your left shin and spin back to the middle. Good, left arm up. We're playing the fluency now. Spin, open. Left arm goes over your head, catch the right ankle, spin to the middle. Put the fluency on it now. Alternating side to side. Going for sort of a little swim. Rotating, spinning around yourself, no pulling. Traveling forward. One more set. Once you finish your last set, grab a hold of your heels now, generous bend in the knees, knees and armpits. Your lungs feed your kidneys in the esoteric dialogue. When the knee is plugged into the armpit, it's like a ball and a mitt, and it's you making good connection to yourself. It's plugging yourself in, creating security, and it's a connection between the lung and the kidney. So in that metaphoric dialogue, it's really like you're mothering yourself, creating that sense of internal security and stability and trust. Trust in yourself, trust in buoyancy, trust your health, trust you can hold yourself. Nice and easy, lengthen forward to sit up. Come onto your back. If you wish, you can take a blanket and roll it up like a little, very long burrito and place that just underneath of the scapula in the smallest of back things. And there, close your eyes and rest on your back. For a moment, bring your attention and your awareness to your breathing. And put a gentle tone on the breath once again. So as you breathe in, image that sea of prana all around the body, that sea of prana all around you is being drawn in through the portal of the nostrils down into the low belly. And as you exhale, that healing vitality ripples outward from navel center through all of the cells. Every time you breathe in, it's like you're pulling in that ocean of light all around you, that subtle vital energy. And then it's ignited in the navel center and washes outward, healing the whole of the body. Let the breath become increasingly smooth and increasingly effortless. Continuing to image this light being pulled in the portal of the nostrils down into the belly, the place where when you were in your mother's womb, you breathed through the navel center. So there's this real connection between the belly and the nostrils and the breath. Sense the whole of the body filled with light, with that vital energy. Sense that you are held by the planet. Sense that there is buoyancy and lightness, even when it feels heavy, even when it feels dark. Always held. And it's just for right now. Whatever it is, it's just for right now. And can you trust in the next buoyant moment? Carried by the breath, carried by the spin of the planet, carried by all the gifts of great nature, your eyes to see, your ears to hear, nose to sniff out a situation, your beautiful mind. You may, of course, stay in Shavasana as long as you wish. If you are ready to move to the next part of your day, start to deepen the breath once again. Take small movements in your fingers and toes, wrists, ankles. When you're ready, you'll move to a fetal position on your side. Again, if you have more time to rest, I encourage you to savor that. And if it's wisdom for you to transition now, transition. From your fetal position, press yourself gently up to a seat. And bow your chin. Feel the whole of the body vibrating, alive with prana. Feel your seat supported by the earth, holy feet on sacred ground. Know that you are part of the greater whole. If you're going through something right now, remind yourself with the gentle truth, it's just for right now. And what can I extract from it while I simultaneously trust in the buoyancy of life? Remember this feeling and remember that in any moment you can take that one deep breath, you can change your state so quickly, even if you don't have this much time. Think about all the moments of this practice that we paused and felt the change in state. 30 seconds in, 1 minute in, 5 minutes in. It's always theirs, it's always yours, it's always within. Rub your palms together in front of your face, nice and vigorous. Build some heat between your hands. Cup your palms over your eyes, fingertips on your hairline. Open your eyes behind your hands, let in the darkness. Release your palms, let in the light, and welcome yourself back. Thank you so much for joining me today. This is a really special class because I sequenced it with a group of my 200-hour yoga teacher trainees yesterday. I themed it, but they helped decide what poses and what order. And it's such a creative act and so brilliant to get to see new teachers exploring their abilities in this way. So I really hope you enjoyed it. And if you are interested in completing your teaching certification at the 200 or 300-hour level, I invite you to join me online or in select locations around the world. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I will see you next week.